Hi, my name is Victoria Bates, and I will be presenting to you my STEM resource. STEM, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. What is STEM? STEM is an acronym for the four main practices that are integrated through a cohesive curriculum. Each area of study is closely related and shares similarities in theories and practices in each core subject. It's based off student-led learning to solving problems, creating solutions, evidence-based solutions to real-world problems where students can find ways to relate to them. The first letter in the acronym is science. Here I've included some of my general resources for science. So NGSS is a major player in this. It helps educators set expectations for what students should know and be able to do and learn for all grades. Here's the website. It's a set of standards that teachers use to, set learning goals and, base their teachings off. Musa Max Science, it's an interactive science website for students in grades 4 through up 4 plus. It's interactive, it shows videos, it allows students to critically think and think about what they've learned in the past and what they can apply their knowledge with. Amplify Science, again, it's an interactive hands-on, and it investigates to help students and reason like scientists and engineers. NASA STEM Engagement, it's a website that provides resources for educators and students in all grade levels for the core STEM concepts, especially science. National Geographic Education and National Geographic Kids provides resources for educators and opportunities for children to learn all about different science topics. It lists the topics and you can choose what you want to learn about. And lastly, it's PhET Interactive. Again, they're interactive simulations for science where the students can interact with different lessons and have learning goals and apply their knowledge to what they know. The Instructional Guidelines for Science is the 5E model. The 5E model promotes active listening and learning, asking questions, modeling, analyzing, observing, explaining, and reasoning, and use of evidence. The instructions based on previous learning and time spent on that subject. There are 5 phases: elaborate, engage, explore, explain, and evaluate. The first is engage. It's designed to have the students make connections between past and present learning connections. It helps the students become familiar with the content and what will be presented throughout the lessons or the unit. And it aids students in asking meaningful questions. Explore. It's the second one. Students will investigate the topic together using hypotheses, investigations, and testing different variables, etc. They form predictions, they solve problems, they discuss the problems, and it helps the students make sense of their experiences and again ties together what they're learning about. Next is explain. The students will share their thoughts and findings from the first 2 stages. They use the information obtained from the work done in this step to design solutions to problems. They compare current and previous thinking with themselves and other students. They provide evidence to their thoughts, and the teacher provides information to the students in lesson format. Next is elaborate. This is the step where the students extend their knowledge and elaborate on what they have previously found in the past 3 steps. They can draw conclusions, and they apply their observations and evidence to answer questions about the problems that have been presented. Lastly, step 5 is evaluate. Students receive feedback on their findings, conclusions, and explanations. This is the step where the teacher can facilitate a summative assessment, and students can show their individual progress and understanding towards the learning goals and objectives. The supporting activity I found is called oil spill. The task is, your engineering company has been tasked with cleaning up a major oil spill disaster. You can only use the provided materials to clean up all the oil from the feathers and from the water. Place all collected oil into a provided container. So this can be really done with any students. It shows problem-solving skills. It's applicable to real-life problems children can make connections with. Provides discussions on a lesson based off the 5E model. There are also connections to the other STEM topics in extension activities. The next in STEM, T for technology. So these are some of the general resources I found for technology. Code.org, I have used this actually personally with some of my students, and it gives the opportunity to students to learn and engage in computer science programs and excel in these programs to apply throughout their lives. Provides educators with different grade level courses for the students to complete. The ISTE is the International Society for Technology and Education, and it helps educators use technology and support them in using different technology sources in the classroom. So it kind of gives the resources of technology and how educators can use technology in their classrooms. We're at a time in our lives where technology is huge, and this provides, guidance and resources for educators and families as well. Next is Spark 101. It provides STEM experiences for students and encourages STEM problem solving in all different parts of STEM, including technology. The Department of Educational Technology helps educators in the school system gain access to technology that's available and how it can be used and made possible within not just a technology education classroom, but all classrooms. And ITEEA is an organization that helps educate and promote and protect the technology education in schools. It provides professional development sources and courses as well. For technology, the instructional guidelines, the major part I found is digital citizenship, which really teaches students how to be safe, responsible, and effective on the internet and other technological devices, not only in school, but at home as well. And I think, especially with this day and age, it's really important to, know what's safe and not safe when using technology because there are so many social media platforms that students use, even in school, to help them with their learning. The teachers model how to use technology in an ethical way. They encourage and acknowledge the good digital behaviors, and it's based on student prior knowledge and experiences. So, students, because technology is such a big part of their lives, have an idea of kind of what's safe and unsafe, hopefully, with the technology. Supporting activity for technology is called Flow Lab. This is more of a fun, interactive lesson. It provides online digital technology to help students create their own video games online. It promotes STEM technology and it's student interest driven. So it's an online website that schools are free to schools or to purchase where students will design their own video games. Engineering. General resources for engineering. Tinkercad. This is a really big one. I've actually even again used this with my students in their technology education classes. It's an online tool for introducing students to their educators to a 3D engineering designs online. It provides introductions to Autodesk, the lead engineering software program. Teach Engineering, a K-12 curriculum that provides more than just information on the different engineering jobs. It provides hands-on activities based on the engineering types, and there are many of them, and it allows students to kind of explore their interests in what engineering is. Next is the National Center for Technological Literacy. It provides information and a curriculum for educators and students to incorporate STEM engineering in the daily curriculum. Next is EIE. It's a resource that uses the engineering design process, promotes learning, literacy, and engineering, and computer design with hands-on activities for students in K-5. And lastly, Try Engineering. It provides educators and students with engineering and technology resources, lesson plans, and activities that inspire critical thinking. The instructional strategies for engineering is Teach for Understanding. Its lessons are designed to have children gain deeper understandings. It has clear learning objectives. Teaching strategies are chosen by picking the best one that will help the children reach their goals and lesson objectives, and the best one meaning what will be applicable to the lesson that they are doing in engineering. It's thought-provoking and engaging, and it's rich, ongoing assessment throughout the whole time. The supporting activity I found is a Leaning Tower of Pasta. It puts a focus on engineering design processes when choosing the materials and how to build something that can handle weight put on it. There's no specific design plan. It's student-driven. Students discover the best design. And then here's a link, and I'll be popping up the video. While engineers may be able to find strong materials, they cannot always use them in a structure because the materials are too expensive. Just like an engineer, today you'll be constrained. You can only use a limited amount of materials. Pasta and marshmallows. It includes science in this, like tension and compression. Spaghetti cannot stand much tension or compression. Marshmallows can handle compression well, but do not hold up to tension. Spaghetti can slip out of them. The design challenge is to build a tower as high as you can and strong as you can with your limited resources. You can make it more difficult, you can make it easier, depending on, the grade and the student levels of academics. You test the structure by adding weights or anything that might put weight onto it and see how much the structure can withstand. So that's just a little part of the video, and I think it really promotes the engineering process and design where students, test something, they might have to fix something about it and just kind of show their progression of the assignment. Next is mathematics, M. Some general resources, Common Core Standards. This is the big one. It provides a clear set of skills for standards for educators to help students learn throughout the school year. It's a K through 12 curriculum. It has standards and where students should be in their learning. NCTM, this is mainly for teachers. It's the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics that provides standard-based resources that will help teachers teach math and students learn math. IXL, this is something that I use for my students that really supplements the math fluency. It provides supplemental work for students to build math fluency and practice the core concepts based off the Common Core standards. The Khan Academy, it's personalized learning based on student skills. It provides instructional videos and practice exercises to aid, again, in student learning. Freckle Math, a resource for educators to use to supplement math, again, fluency to help students gain math fluency practice. iReady Math, this is something that I also use in my classroom. It's a comprehensive assessment and instruction program designed to help all students be successful through instruction design on diagnostic test scores. So students take a test and it shows kind of where they are in their math levels, and then it provides individual student reports and your next steps for teaching students. Instructional strategies for math, hands-on learning with the use of manipulatives, exploring the topic before explaining, understanding the vocabulary before teaching the core concepts, using and knowing how to use the appropriate tools, establishing goals for the teaching, promote reasoning and problem solving, builds on math fluency, and proposes meaningful questions to promote active thinking. Supporting activity. Again, this is something that I've found works with my students. The Poppets are something that are really popular with kids these days. So there are many videos online that kind of incorporate how to use Poppets when teaching math. I use it for multiplication. It's a hands-on activity in teaching and practicing multiplication. It connects the student interests, and there's discovering new ways to use it other than just a fidget toy. And here are my references. Thank you for watching my presentation.